Hey everyone, we are back. Today we are going to make the basic tote. We have the bag that we washed last week, and I leave it inside out. And what you're going to do is you're going to find where your picture is. Like for this bag, you can kind of see it. It's right in here. And then you have to decide, do you want to cut part off the top or part off the bottom? I like the bottom because it says rabbit feed right through here. So you're going to cut about 4 to 5 inches off the top. This is going to be our handle. This is the only part of the bag we're going to cut. So I went ahead and cut this off. A little thing, find a pair of scissors when you are working with feed bags that is pretty much just going to be for feed bags. Any like fabric scissors you might have, you could use, but the feed bag material is going to dull them very quickly, so I always have a pair of scissors that's just to work with this. When we cut the bottom part of this bag off, it's kind of uneven, you can see. I don't worry about it because when I sew, I'm going to sew in a straight line, and you won't even see it. It'll be on the inside of the bag. Some people want to cut it off. It's up to you. I make approximately 500 bags a year, so I don't usually take the time to trim all that down. For the handle, so this is the piece we cut off, right? It's still intact. The folded edges that are the edge of the bag, I'm going to cut here, and then I'm going to cut over here, and that will make our two handles. So I went ahead and cut these out. Those are our two handles. This is the remaining part of the bag. Some people I have seen that have made totes, and it's your personal preference. We'll cut this so they just get this picture in here out. I don't do that. If you leave this bag intact, the way it is, all the way around, and you're just stitching up the bottom, and then you're going to fold over and stitch up the top to kind of finish the edge off, you're leaving this bag with a structural integrity. So it has less chance of pulling apart or ripping or anything else. When you're going to sew with feed bags, you really need either a really sturdy machine, a newer sturdy one, or I prefer older style machines. They are much stronger. They still have a metal frame on the inside. A lot of machines now are plastic, and they have working parts, and they kind of push the two halves of the machine together, and there's no metal frame in there. You can find older machines, Goodwill or yard sales. There are some people like myself that refurbish older machines. Those are much stronger and much more durable because feed bags are incredibly difficult or hard on your sewing machine. Right now we're getting ready to sew the handle. So we had the piece, and then I fold it in half, and then I unfold it and take each edge and fold it inwards. So the end result will be like that. And now we're going to stitch. I do both sides. I do a line here, and then I do another one over there. Just keep it flat. It looks a little nicer, and it makes it a little stronger. When I sew with the feed bags, I have a tendency to use either a cotton or a cotton poly blend thread. I've heard of people using nylon. I've never had really good luck with it. Because I sew so many feed bags, I don't usually buy the really expensive thread because I'm going to go through it very quickly. I get the cones of thread like you can see on there. I'll probably go through about 4 cones every 6 months, roughly. I have stitched both handles down, and I actually should make a correction. I said that you needed to cut about 5 inches off. That would be for a 50-pound feed bag. If you're using like a 10 or 20-pound, you might only cut about 2 inches off. You'd have a thinner handle, but you're going to have a smaller bag. It's all based on the proportion of the size of the bag that you're using. Set our handles aside. Our feed bag, I like a square bottom. I've seen some people that just make them really narrow. I've seen some people that will cut and make like a squared bottom to it. I want to keep the structural integrity of this bag. So I'm going to take the edges that were part of the feed bag, these little seams here, and this edge, and I'm going to fold it under